All right, get comfortable for me. This story time will be a little different because this time we're covering a real tale. Let's go back to 1971, high above the Amazon rainforest. At the center of it is a 17-year-old girl named Julianne Kopka. She was flying home for Christmas with her mother aboard a small commercial flight called Lanza Flight 508. It was December 24th, Christmas Eve. The plane had taken off from Lima and was heading toward a small city deep in the Peruvian Amazon. Inside the cabin, everything felt normal. People talking, the low hum of the engines, the calm you get when a long trip is almost over. Julianne sat by the window looking out over an endless blanket of jungle stretching in every direction while her mother sat beside her, relaxed. Then, a storm rolled in. Lightning flashed around the aircraft, lighting the cabin for a split second at a time. Turbulence shook the plane, the kind that makes people grip their armrests tighter. And then, a blinding flash. Lightning struck the aircraft. Instantly, the plane began breaking apart in mid-air. Oxygen masks dropped, luggage flew, people screamed. Julianne later said the last thing she remembers hearing was her mother calmly saying, "That's the end. It's all over." And then, silence. The aircraft disintegrated above the rainforest. Thousands of feet in the air, Julianne was still strapped into her seat when she was thrown into the open sky. For a few seconds, she was simply falling, still attached to the row of seats around her. Beneath her, nothing but dense jungle canopy stretching across the Amazon basin. The wind roared past her ears as she dropped nearly 10,000 feet toward the earth. Then everything went black. When Julianne woke up, it was quiet. She was lying on the forest floor surrounded by towering trees and thick vines. Somehow, unbelievably, she was alive. The dense canopy had softened her fall, breaking the impact as she crashed through layers of leaves and branches. She wasn't unscathed, though. Her collarbone fractured, cuts and bruises across her body, and one eye swollen nearly shut. But she could move. Slowly, painfully, she stood up. Imagine waking up alone in one of the largest rainforests on Earth. No roads, no towns, just endless jungle. Julianne soon realized she was completely alone. None of the other passengers were nearby, and the wreckage was nowhere in sight. Luckily, Julianne's parents were zoologists who had worked in the Amazon for years, and she had visited their research stations growing up. Her knowledge was limited, but she knew one rule: if you find a stream, follow it. Water usually leads to people eventually. So that's what she did. For the next 11 days, Julianne walked through thick jungle, muddy ground, swarms of insects, and the constant sounds of wildlife around her. She drank rainwater and followed small streams that eventually joined larger rivers. Her injuries slowed her down, but she kept moving. At night, she slept on the forest floor, listening to the rainforest echo around her in the darkness. Somehow, she kept going. On the 10th day, exhausted and barely able to walk, Julianne found something. A small boat tied near a hut along the riverbank belonging to local lumber workers. Too weak to travel further, she lay beside the hut and waited. The next day, the workers returned and found a young girl, dirty, injured, but alive. Out of the 92 people aboard Lanza Flight 508, Julianne Kopka was the only survivor. She had fallen from a plane thousands of feet in the air into one of the harshest environments on Earth, and somehow walked out of the jungle 11 days later. Even today, many people struggled to believe the story. Falling from the sky, surviving the impact, and walking alone through the Amazon for nearly 2 weeks. Sometimes reality tells stories that sound impossible, and this is one of them. All right, that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.